We contacted the Children's Society, went through the process. Once we got through the approval process, then I think that's when the hard part starts, and that's when you wait. It was funny because the day we signed with the Children's Society was a year to the day from Alex's birthday. So I was sitting there at work and answered the phone, and she said, "I think we have a child for you." There was no lead up. This was somebody who showed up at the hospital, had not had any prior contact, I believe, with the Children's Society, and the birth mother showed up there and had Alex. So Christy said, "Well, get prepared." And I said, "Well, what do I do?" "What do you mean get prepared?" Because I couldn't prepare myself for that at all. It was so smooth once we went to the hospital with the Children's Society was there to greet us, and the nursing staff. Everything that the Children's Society did from the beginning of the whole process through things you don't think of, like the hospital bill. Children's Society worked that all out.
Christy
so we
did wonders.
We didn't even have to deal with any of that. As soon as I held him, because I wondered if you're not giving birth to your child, and I'm sure a lot of parents are concerned about that. It was instantaneous. I couldn't believe that I could love something that much, that quickly, which brings me to how hard and that decision. I think that birth parents should have a lot of credit for what they do.
The birth mother chose to have a closed adoption. We've shared our information, so if someday she would ever want to reach out to us, she can through the Children's Society.
But we, as much as we would like to have contact, it's up to her on, what she wants to do. And, everybody has a stereotype of young mother, not ready, teenagers. She was in her 20s. And making this choice, I can't handle it at this time, and I'm going to trust somebody else to do it. That is an amazing strength that she had to do that as a single woman, and how much I appreciate that choice. I can't express the experience we've had. It's just been an incredible experience. She did write us this letter, and I like to think he has my smile, though I know the happiness behind it is because of you two, and I couldn't be happier about that. I can never thank you enough for what you have done for me and for him. Nothing makes me happier than knowing how much you love him and how much in some way we all helped each other. And I think that's the key, that we helped each other, and someday maybe we'll be able to meet her. We celebrate with the Children's Society every year on that, and I can't say enough on how much the gala is, how important the gala is. The work that the Wyoming and Colorado Children's Society does, even beyond just the adoption part of it, we are in the receiving end of such a wonderful gift. To have the society be there for somebody or a woman who is scared and doesn't know what they want to do, that's the more important side. That's the side you don't see as much of. You see the happy families and you see everybody at the children's at the gala, but you don't see the stressful side. I think it's important that people understand with the Wyoming and Colorado Children's Society, beyond the adopted families like you see, there is so much more that is involved. Hopefully that's not forgotten when we look at the Children's Society being around for 108 years. And they're obviously doing something right.
So our adoption journey, I'd like to say started pretty early on, because we knew even before we got married that was going to be something that was going to happen.
We started the adoption process. We went down to Wyoming Children's Society and walked us through what the process would be to adopt. And then in about May of 2013, we were approved to go into circulation. It was kind of like the long waiting game at that point. So during that time, we started a Facebook page to share with our community and our family the adoption process that we were going through. And that's actually how our birth mother found us. She contacted us, asked if we were still interested in adopting. We went and visited with her, met her and her family. She told the agency that she was very much interested in matching with us. Life is more fun now. I didn't think I could love something as much as I did when I held her. The community's response was overwhelmingly positive to our adoption journey.
Putting ourselves out there in front of the community like that, getting to know other families in town, and I just still to this day am amazed how many people we knew had their own adoption stories.
She actually goes to daycare with one of the children that was adopted, and is very good friends with Alex, aren't you? Yeah. So they talk about that now as something that they share and that is in common.
I think having that connection with a friend who is also adopted, I think it makes it feel very normal, which is so important.
Our relationship with our birth mother has evolved over the last 4 years. And how do we differentiate what our role is versus her role? And I think that's something we've really tried to work on. She's just now an extended member of our family.
I think one of the important pieces for our birth mother is having the support from an agency such as the Wyoming Children's Society. I don't think she would be where she is today without that support. Oh, Daddy.
Charlotte has a really good understanding of who her birth family is. She understands who her birth brother is and her birth sister. And she's able to FaceTime and have those relationships with her, which is really quite awesome that we can share that with her, and she knows her biological family.
I just think it's incredibly important for our communities, for moms to be, or women who are facing that choice of what is going to be the best choice. Even if adoption isn't in your future, supporting this agency in a role like this in our communities is so important. Not everybody has that support at home.
I would tell others who are considering to adopt that the journey may seem long, but be patient, because in the end it's worth everything to go through that, to have that child in your arms and then in your life you can't replace that. So the time is worth the wait.
When it's all said and done and you meet that child that you've been waiting for, it's funny that you learn you would do just anything for this child. I think one of the most important way to support these mothers and women facing these choices and trying to decide what that future looks like is to help give them the support they need, whether it be a case manager as they go through, that financial support that we can give to the Children's Society. Maybe it just helps with something, an emergency that comes up that allows them to make the choice to parent themselves and get past that one thing. I mean,
a gas card to get to a doctor's appointment,
yeah.
Food in their fridge, something that they might not have at that time that they need that helps them. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.